from Azrael's Armory here with another video. This one here is a little bit special. Good friend of ours that we've been building for a long time now. We've built probably 20 or so blasters, including 5 DSGs, and a couple of blasters have our Aztec Tender ones in them as well. So this one here is the first one we're going to be going over. It is a Gen 8 UMP from back in the day. So some of you OG players will remember these things. These things were very popular sort of back in 2019, 2018 sort of thing. And there wasn't a whole lot you could do with them. Now, Tim, good friend of mine, was told that you can't put 12 to 1s in a singularity because the spur doesn't fit. And that sort of spurred me on to sort of take this thing to crazy town, because when someone says you can't do it, well, I love to try and prove it wrong. So essentially, it's got a Warfet, 10 amp switch block, singularity gearbox. It's a DSG, so SHS 9 to 1 DSG running on 18 to 1 SHS gears. We did 3D print a 480 motor mount, and it's running a Warhead 480 motor on it. It's got Aztec piston. It's a tappetless Apache running the Gen 8 T-piece, and as you can see here, it's all nice, neatly put together as well with really good taste. So good old classic UMP that we thought, you know what, let's make it tappetless. Why not stop there? Let's put a Warfet on it. Why not stop there? Let's put a DSG on it. So we skipped the 12 to 1 part, went straight to 9 to 1. So here she is here. So a bit of an animal, to say the least. We'll give it a little bit of a shoot at the pan. So this one here is truly sort of why I'm in this business, for crazy sorts of builds like these. Not only that, this thing shouldn't exist. So I'd like to see any other Gen 8 DSG, Apache, 480 motors, Warfet in a Gen 8. I challenge anyone out there to sort of show me another build that's the same as this. And I'm not talking your 30 RPS, 12 to 1s in there. Talking, 50 rounds per second, DSG. It's nice and reliable. This one was built, what was it, like 2 years ago now, Tim?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, so it was built about 2 years ago. Obviously, it doesn't get used every weekend, but it's still seen a considerable amount of shots. So I did tell Tim when we built this that if it does fail, we will go back to the old recipe that I used to put these things together with. And it just seems to keep on trucking, typical Gen 8 things. So we do have a whole range of a smorgasbord of blasters over here, actually. This is nothing but gourmet blasters. So all Aztec everything internally, and every single blaster that you can see here. So everything's running a tappetless Apache. He does have a couple of blasters we've set up on a tappet plate. However, Tim's a huge fan of the Apache. And Scythe gearboxes in all of them, except for the Honey Badger, which has a RetroArms gearbox in it. But Tim's since made the jump from RetroArms gearboxes to Aztec gearboxes for, well-known reasons. So you can see here that they're all very, very unique and sort of tailored to Tim's taste and design, ranging everywhere from about, 58 rounds per second down to about 30 on some of them. Some of them really hard hitting, so he's got blasters up to sort of say 400 FPS. Other blasters, he likes to set them up around that sort of 310, 320 mark. Get that nice sort of grouping, nice sort of accuracy in them. So that's it for that one for now. We'll go down the line here. What was in this one again? The retro 12 to 1, 30, 36K Warhead. So this is your typical sort of Tamati style build, except it's in a RetroArms gearbox. So you heard the beep, beep, beep. So assuming that's an Asda. So yep, this is an Asda. Built quite some time ago. So it ranges between the oldest school Leviathans to the V2 optical Leviathans to the Asdas. So he's got a bit of everything in all of these blasters. And, when people say they have a collection of blasters and they've got, say, 20, 30 blasters, Tim's got 20, 30, but they're all completely turned inside out. They're not stock at all. So here, this one here. So a very, very nice Tamati build in this one. We'll give it a bit of a shoot. Go through. That's like making my ears ring, that pan. So you can see there, that one's a nice, very nice honey badger, which, you know, serve him well. We'll just top this mag back up because that would have just, it feels like it ripped through about half the mag just then. So this one here is your Jingji SLR. So this one here is a Jingji SLR that pretty much started life bog stock. Tim got a good deal on it. Typical Tim, gave me a phone call. It's got all the parts, got all the Aztec parts in it once again. It's running a Scythe gearbox. It's also got the our old school Gen 1 Apache in it. So that's a Gen 1.5 with the upgraded nozzle, but it is still in the Gen 1 category for the Apache. It's also running our first gen adjustable T-piece. So this one was built quite some time ago. It's had services and some tinkers and things like that in the meantime, just to keep these things running nice, but we'll give this one a little bit of a shoot as well. So once again, another Asda in this one. I'll give it a bit of a dry fire before. So what's this one here? 12s on 36. So I do believe this battery might be dying because it is starting to slow down a bit. Give it a bit of a shoot. Fat gel. You can see there, I've got a smash gel coming up the tube there. But you can see there, it's also hitting really, really nice on that pan. The camera won't do it justice just because we're running these mics, but it is very loud hitting those pans. So that's the Jingji SLR. We'll make our way down the line. I don't know if this battery is actually going to last, to be honest. So this one here is your Ion SLR. So this is the full metal variant SLR. Very, very nice quality. These things aren't too old in the industry. They came out about a year ago, just over a year ago maybe. And Tim straight away went and picked one up like the day it sort of came out, and basically wanted to do the same treatment again. So full Scythe build, full Aztec everything as usual. You can see it's got the toolless adjust Hellfire hop up on it as well, which just ties this thing in so nicely. This one's 10 to 1s. 10 to 1s? On Ronin. On a Ronin. Okay, so this one's 10 to 1s on a Ronin. We'll see how much battery this has left. I'll give it a bit of a dry fire first, actually. So you can hear that's about what, 45 rounds per second, 48-ish SSG. These things are stupid. So once again, that one's running really, really nice as well. You know, chrono numbers, these things are ranging anywhere between sort of that 300 all the way up to, I think the UMP is a bit low, but we do have to sit down and retweak that nozzle seal for him. Oh, I'll put that one back on after. That one's not wanting to go on. Now, I remember this one. This one is... So pretty much we bought these receivers at the same time. Tim actually went and picked mine up for me the day that they came out. When they came out, this was before we brought out the Chimera receiver. We just sort of had to have one. So, you know, once again, full Aztec everything. This is a gearbox I personally anodized for Tim. He wanted a nice sort of gold anodized gearbox, gold trigger, Acid Customs handguard on it, so full carbon fiber handguard. This thing is stupidly light. Like titanium. Oh, it's got the titanium Apache. So this one has the titanium Apache on it as well. This one here, you know, Tim found out that we were doing titanium Apaches. Now, we were only ever going to do 5 as like a giveaway, sort of, you know, like a Willy Wonka golden ticket. So, you know, if you got the golden ticket, you got to sit on Brent's lap and go on the draw to win a titanium Apache. He also gave you a gold star if you wanted as well. So, you know, but Tim's like, nah, how much? I want one. I need one. I don't want to leave it to luck. So, you know, Tim got the titanium Apache. This titanium Apache needs to be O-ring swap though.
does, yeah.
So it's a little bit, Jesus, that is loud.
I love that,
I wasn't expecting that.
That thing is so loud, man.
This is deafening. This is very loud. Is that the Titanium Apache just being that loud? That's like deafening loud. So this one here, what's in this one?
She was 9-to-1 DSG on 36k.
9-to-1 DSG on 36k. So, you know, once again, it's
Shooting through 20 FPS.
full Aztec. Yeah, that's right. It was 320 FPS when we put it together.
320,
325. So the O-ring on the Apache, we installed the wrong size O-ring. There's a little bit of a miscommunication when we got a new batch of O-rings in. We installed it. I do have to put the right size O-ring in it. So that's about... Your bolt catch just like vibrated off. Yeah, that O-ring needs to be changed. So you can see there, basically that nozzle's not reciprocating properly because it's not actually holding any seal. So it's sort of flopping about the place. It's not moving the way that it should. So that one there is just going to need a bit of a tinker on the O-ring. So you can see the Titanium Apache through there. So this was a couple years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least, yeah.
about a couple years ago. And then when he was playing at Tack Edge at GSA, there's the pin for it too, luckily enough. It just fell out onto the table. He basically noticed his range drop right off and the blaster sort of, you know, the range sort of dramatically changed. And at that point, we'd already discovered the O-ring issue. So true to our form, you know, we look after our customers. That'll be swapped out for him. But this one here, to be honest, man, this is probably one of my favorite looking. I like the gunmetal, so the gunmetal grey MPX. It's got the O-light on it. It's got a very nice suppressor on it, Chimera grip, all the Aztec goodies internally as usual. And it is, you know, to me, this is very clean. So a very simple, clean looking GAT, but more so the color scheme as well. So I think just how clean the blaster looks, and the color scheme, you know, that black and gunmetal gray you just can't beat. And obviously we lasered powered by Aztec Innovations on it. And that's what we lasered here in store. So it's got that on both sides with the Aztec logo. We've got the light there. So this one is, what's in this one?
Another 9-to-1.
Another 9-to-1, so another DSG. So see if we can. So you can see here, this one's running really, really nice as well. Good old classic DSG does this thing justice, to be honest. I wouldn't imagine putting anything else in a build like that. And this one here, this is another unique looking GAT. So this is obviously our Chimera, the first gen Chimeras, in a very, very nice green. So originally, you know, it was a little bit more faded than sort of we wanted it to look. However, that tied in nicely with the color scheme. So it just ended up being sort of looking really, really nice and sort of suiting the blaster all in all in the end. Running a black scythe gearbox, all black accents, so black and green accents, which just makes it nice. You've got your silver adjustable T-piece along with your silver cylinder and the bushings, and the silver outer barrel as well. And I just think that ties it all in very, very nicely. So that three colors to sort of, you know, tie it all in together is very, very good contrast. But as usual, let's give this one a shoot. So semi. What's in this one?
10s also.
10s?
On, yeah, 36k.
So this one's our Aztec 10-to-1s on 36k. I was going to say it sounds like another DSG, but it's vibrating a lot harder than a DSG is in my hand. So
340 FPS that one.
this one, so about 340 feet per second. We're going to give it a bit of a shoot. $10 points off a shoot, boss man. 340 FPS of 50 RPS. that wouldn't tickle. So as you can see there, these are just a handful of his gats, not all of them. So some of them aren't here. But as you can see, you can go crazy town. This is truly a showcase of sort of what can be done internally and externally. Obviously the variations are endless between what you can and can't do, but with our internal parts and all of them, obviously the performance is endless as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just showcasing something that we can do. Purple one. Did I do this one? No, I don't think I did. Oh, we've got one more. All right, so what's in this one? 6-1. Oh, so this one's okay. So this one's 6-1. So this one here is basically a 12-1 DSG. For those who don't like calling it 6-1, I know there's some people out there that don't like me using that term. So this one's a 12-1 DSG. So you know your 12-1 gears. We basically split the gear in half. We split a DSG gear in half. We drill and tap and JB weld the upper of a DSG to the lower of the sector of the SSG gear, and then run a 12-1 spur, bevel, everything else, and then it sort of just goes together like a DSG. So this thing here, if I'm right, and this is a full charge battery, it should be around that 70 rounds per second. Yeah. Give or take, sort of, at the moment. So that sounds like a bloody, like a horn. So, yeah, I didn't think that was going to feed that great at the moment. So this one here is a prime candidate for our AMAGs, to be honest. So our AMAGs, we've actually clocked in at sort of up to 80 RPS, which I sort of cheated on that one to get, just to sort of test what the mags are doing themselves. So this one here, if you put a spring-fed mag on this one, you could imagine 70 rounds a second sort of coming out in a laser beam like that. So stock Gen 8 mag, unupgraded, is going to struggle to feed on this thing any day of the week. Semi-binary, things like that, perfectly fine, but put it in full auto and you're going to see a lot of skipping. But once again, that color scheme, gray and purple, very unique. There is not many color schemes out there like that. To be honest, I haven't seen another color scheme in the grey and purple with the acid handguard in the white as well. So once again, another crazy little animal come out of Aztec, well, Azrael's Armory. Obviously, external wise, it's completely different bar the grip, but internally, this is all our performance going into these things. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys all out there are safe, enjoying your pew pew, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.